Good afternoon, everyone. Great to see you all. Welcome to the PivotBoss Trading Room. It is Wednesday afternoon, April 10th, 2019. Right now we have a nice little move higher here off the midpoint of the day for both the ES and the NQ. Again, a rather quiet day for the most part. Nothing really to do today, which is just odd. The broader market is just, the ES, NQ, the index is just very, very quiet. Not a whole lot of action, and yet, some of these positions just exploded today, up quite a bit today on some of these positions. Huge moves across the board. So I wanted to get to some of that. Crude oil kind of just went sideways as well. After the initial pop. Again, we talked about any pullback to 64 could offer an opportunity to rally it back toward the 64.70s. It got to 64.05, rallied as high as 64.70 even. That was about as much as it got today. But still quite choppy and not a whole lot of range just yet. So let me come over here real quick. Number one, IYT. Dwayne's asking a good question right here. What's the outlook for IYT? The 60-minute chart shows around the top, kind of like mid-February, but I'm at a break even on the puts. Okay. And so the 60-minute does show kind of around the top. So let me show you that real quick. It looks kind of like this here, and you can certainly see a situation where if it were to break through 190, I mean that's the situation I've been talking about, right? It could be rather significant. The way it looks right now, it has a bullish outside day up in the daily time frame. So you can see this is the previous session's low. It rejected it pretty strong, and now it's higher. And that's an outside day. Yesterday's high is right here. So a pretty strong outside day. This low also was below the 8-period average in the daily time frame just briefly. Here it is right here. So you can see it just got barely below the 8-period average today, the 191s, below the previous session's low, and then catapulted higher. This has been very strong. This was not a strong rejection up here. I was playing it for a quick move back. It didn't materialize. I went ahead and got out. And so I'm taking that off because it just didn't work out there. Again, I still could see a scenario where this right here still leads to that. I could still see that happening. This is a great LVN. The 190 puts is still great. Everything looks the part. The only thing is it just hasn't done it, and you're seeing a rejection here in an uptrending PIMA, which that could lead to another push higher. So it just looks a little more bullish on a daily time frame, although I could see that if tomorrow it opened below the mid or at the mid, that could be pretty bearish, right? So a stop run day, I mean, it's just one day away on this one. So just some thoughts there on IYT. Let me look over here. I want it, again, I don't want to get too greedy here. I don't want to get too greedy. And so I have to take some profit. I just have to do it because this is classic case right here where a great move in VMware. Again, the entry is right here at the 178, and right now it just went above 190. That is the top end of our spread. I bought the 185, 190 call spread, and I bought it, what was that, $7 out of the money, and now it is above, it's beyond in the money there. It's through the 190s. And I haven't taken profit yet. So I want to take half of that off now because tomorrow I could see this thing just coming right back down and just getting a huge swoosh and leaving everybody behind. So I want to take some profit on that right now. And that one is VMW, so I'm just going to put that in right now here. What's it at? 315? Okay, so I put an order out there to fill 315 on half of that trade. We'll see if we get filled here on that one. The other one is RH. This one is blasted off again. This one is the 115, 110 put spread is the one I sold. I sold it when it was still down here, and so it's gone into the money and beyond. Again, I'd be a fool not to take something off the table. This thing is up just a ton right now, and I'm going to go ahead and take half of that off as well. Now, I do still think that it will close above the 115s, but just in case it doesn't, because it has to close above it next Friday, so we still got 8 days to those. So, or more. Yeah, 8 days. So, I still think it'll do it, but just in case, you know, I wanna be able to get out. So let's see here. Right now I'm holding how many of these? Okay, I'll take half of that. I'm gonna buy these back also at 165 here. Try to get some 165s. So again, strong move. I don't remember which day. They're all kind of a blur. It was one of these 2 days. It was probably this day where I got in. And then, yeah, wasn't a great trade. It was up and down until it really started to explode here, which is what we talked about before. If it can get above the 107 halves, this thing opens up to the upside. So taking some of that off, or trying to right now. At 165, trying to take off some VMW at 315. WM also with a huge day up today. Entry yesterday, a explosive day up. Again, this is another one where I could take something off the table, but I'm not up enough yet. So but it was a great first big move. I am trying to take some off at 190, and right now it is sitting at 130 to buy it, I think. 130 to buy it, 125 to sell it. So not much more before I can perhaps take that off for a bigger gain. So I'd like to double that one, but, you know, again, keeping an eye on this one. Even if it does pull back tomorrow and take out the low, it could still be a failed new low and go. I kind of think this thing will pull back tomorrow and hold the 102s and then try to start pushing higher again. So we'll see if that develops in that way. But WM, very strong start. Great trade location to that one. T-Mobile is also up big. Again, I don't want to overdo it without taking profits. This has been a perfect entry here and just go. My primary target was initially 72 to 72 half, and that's where we are. So this would be a perfect time to take something off the table, although I mentioned before that if we can get it 1 point higher, or maybe a point and a quarter higher, that can be a double. Right away. So I might take just a bit off right here. I just have the itch to take something off today. So, let's see. I'm going to take a third of that one off, so I'm not going to take a whole lot. I'm just going to try and get some off at 385 here. Okay, I'm out of a third of T-Mobile at 385. The entry on that one was 285. Okay. Again, I still think this thing's going to continue higher. I just don't want to get the negative feels here if this thing opens down tomorrow and has a pretty good pullback day, and I didn't take the chance to take something off. So today's profit taking day on some of these. Let's see what else we have here. Still trying to get some of that RH off. Still trying to get the VMware. Waste management, I'm not going to take profits on those yet. I'm gonna keep on going and see if we can get a little bit higher here. First, here's another one. This one is RES. Remember, I took this one long because I took this one long at the close of this day because it closed above here. 9 times out of 10, it takes out the high. Strong start the next day, pull back, and never took out the high. Right now, inside day, still uptrending. It's so strong that it hasn't tested the 8-period average since this day here. And yet, after breaking down below this low and taking it offered, you see bears defending here, trying to keep those offered. So this one was designed to be a quick in and out, and that's not the case right now. It was a quick one day up and then next day down and today up. So this is not at all what I had in mind for it. It's not up or down a whole lot. I mean, today it's been anywhere from break even to down a little bit. Right now I'm in at 55 and it's at 50 if you want to buy it. So, you know, it has a chance to go, but it's not what I'm liking right now at all. So I wouldn't mind getting out of it and just trying something else. Let me see here. It's so close. Let's see. Sorry, looking at a few things here. The other one is Maxim here. Again, this was a long-term candidate for me. It's ended up being actually a good short-term candidate as well. For this one, I mean, it's up fairly decently for being a long-dated option and being up. I mean, if I would have picked something closer, it'd be up even more. But the entry yesterday, again, was right here at the midpoint. Digestive day today, breaking to the upside. Had a strong start to the day, pulled back, formed a higher low and go. It looks really strong. I mean, really, if I just close my eyes on Maxim, I'm trying not to look at it that much. You know, I have an alert that if it were to break down below 56.5, then give me an alert here and tell me, because that might be something to know. But for the most part, as long as it doesn't do that, I kind of just want to let it go, because I think it has a shot to go many months higher. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. Just trying to let this one do its thing for the long term. I think it has a good shot to get way up into the mid 60s, perhaps even as high as 70 by the end of the summer. We will see. RB up big today. This one's had a great rally since that pullback. We had this one as a pullback buy. But to see this one really play out has been incredible. Day over day, just aggressively higher. I mean, that's beautiful. Super, super beautiful. In terms of ACB, this one is at break even, and it hasn't gone anywhere for nearly 2 weeks. I'm nearly at the end of the rope here, but at the same time, it's got plenty of time left on these options. It's done the hard part, which is build energy. The easy part's going to be the expansion now and just holding through that move. You know, if it's something like this where it gets a good breakout, a pullback, and it can go, or however it turns out. It could be like this where it just explodes higher for 5 days. You know, I don't care. So I just want to hold it as long as it can stay above 860, you know, and that's still not a given. I mean, through 860 could be a huge day down. So if it starts to push through 860, you know, early in the day and can't get back above it, I might just jump ship early. But other than that, man, if it can get above here, I think it has a good squeeze. It's taking its time right now. Verizon, very similar as well. Again, this trade is neither here nor there. I'm going to get out of this one right now and just call it a day. This one has plenty of time left to expiration as well. It just really hasn't done anything. Except for go against me yesterday. And that kind of took away some of the modest profit that was there. So not a whole lot doing here on this one. I'd like to just call that one a day. So I'm out of that one at 70. And again, I'd rather take a small loss on something than just kind of keep hoping and then it just keeps going down, you know, and then that small loss turns into a huge loss. And this was already a half entry, so it was teeny, 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 teeny. I mean, these are two strong rejections up here. Very, very strong. It had everything it needed to go higher. It gapped down instead, and this looks like it's about to do that. I mean, it does look like it really wants to go down. So if it can't go up, I guess it's got to go down. Let's see. I'm also in WMB again. Another one that has been that had been very, very bullish, and then kind of took all that away in one day. I mean, this thing was up huge right away, and in one fell swoop gave it all back, and then started to come back and then back again. So it's, again, it's teetering right here on the previous month's close, 2 times above the previous month's high, rejected. I like this one to continue higher, but failed new high today. You know, it's just not doing it. And so again, I think I just want to take the small loss on this one as well and just jump ship. Let's see, WMB right now. Yeah, I'm in at 73 cents. It's at 67 to buy. Let's see. Yeah, I like it. I still think it could pop, but again, I've been in trade since this day at the close. That's then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days for it to go sideways. But or at least 5 days to go sideways. So I think it still has a good shot. So if I get out here or not, it still has a little bit of fight and life in it, as long as it can continue to close above 28.5 in the near term. So watching that one right now. Let's see. T-Mobile took half of that, or a third of that one. Yeti's up a little bit here. DBD's been very nice. So CL right now did not get the expansion or the move that I thought we could get. I mean, we had all the compression. We had everything you really needed. Look how narrow that was, and we had it all compressed, and it was going back and forth, and then it just couldn't go. It fizzled. I think it just couldn't go right now. This is still a very narrow range overall. If we look at kind of a higher time frame right here. There we go. That's the current trend. This is a 10,000 volume bar chart. That's the current trend. It's very, very bullish. Very, very bullish. At some point, whatever turnaround we do is going to start with a failure to hold market structure. Until then, everything is still pointing higher. So I think, again, being up here, I'm still focused down here for tomorrow. If tomorrow comes down into, the previous session's low, into S3 and all that, that could be a rejection point back up. Just like, this was back here, this was back here. Eventually, hopefully, you get the breakout too, and that leads to this. Now, if there's a failure to hold here and we drop, now all of a sudden that looks like it's a reversal here, and then this could turn into that, which could then turn into this and this all the way back down to 58s. I still think this is very, very strong. We haven't seen any kind of semblance of weakness of that magnitude. Every pullback has been strongly defended. So with this one, I still am very, very directionally bullish. I think the 6350 to 6370 zone tomorrow is very, very good. Again, this is a very narrow day today, so you're not seeing a whole lot in terms of range. It's only 51% of average. It's 65 ticks. And when you have a narrow range here with the previous low here, I think it's kind of a gimme that you go take out 2-day lows. So tomorrow, perhaps we come out, take 2-day lows out early in the day, or hit S3 or outside of S3, and then that could provide a bounce back up. And that could be a 6350 to 6470 play. And then if it, breaks higher, then we could even go up. But it wouldn't surprise me if we get a couple of rotations. So right now, I think we're still trending up. Pullbacks to be defended at prior pivot lows. S3, things of that magnitude. Yeah, this is going to be it's gonna be nice to see if these things can get some expansion, because crude oil is compressing up here all week long. ES and Q still in those 4-day ranges. Now, multiple is going to be 5-day plus ranges, 6-day ranges. All of those ranges are building energy for a very nice move here to come. So what's going on here, WMB? As soon as I put my sell order in there, the thing falls. Okay, I'm out of WMB at 62. Oh, 60. Yeah, I'm not getting caught in that thing. It looks like it's a disaster waiting to happen now. kind of makes me happy. You can already feel it. All of the my annoyances for WMB and some of these others coming off as I get out of them. So I'm happy now. It was fine at first, but all this sideways mess, not the best. But again, getting out of something very early instead of letting it turn into something huge, because this could easily just wipe this thing out tomorrow. If it can't go up, perhaps it has to go down. So I'm out of that one. Out of Verizon. Took a third off of T-Mobile. Still trying to get filled some VMW here. Didn't appear to fill me. So I put it in at 315, which was the going rate at the time. Now it looks like it's 305. It's pulled back to 190. I just want to get out of... Ooh, I almost did something wrong there. I'll get out at 305 if it'll let me. So no fills right now on VMW. I'm kind of chasing a little bit. I don't mind a nickel or a dime of kind of chasing a little bit up here, because I'd rather kind of try and get something before the close. But you can definitely see some profit taking here at 90. This is the highest points it's been. This is the best spot to take something. Again, I would love to get filled, but it's not. I've already kind of updated those orders a couple of times here for VMW and RH. Maxim doing well. Let's see. Okay. Okay, while those are working right there, I also... IIPR, man, I'm still bummed I stopped looking at that one. That one's been good here. I think Dwayne, was it Dwayne with the FLDM? Up 4% today. That one's been 2 days straight up. Very, very strong. That was a great look at that one. The only reason I didn't get in on that one is just because the history was just so sideways. This was one move, but does it stay sideways a little longer? But that's a great move right there, and it also looked a little thin. So those two things combined, I was like, I'll get some other things. But very strong move right there. Twilio's been good. Team, again, perfect entry yesterday and pulling back. Not done yet, but let's see. Let me look at these scans over here. Yeah, it sure did, and it just took off. ABC with a strong rejection down here. This is not bad at all. This is long-term support for ABC, Amerisource Spurgeon. This one has $70 here. That's a key level. It's caught in here before. $72 is, the target where it usually bounces off of, unless it needs 70. So it's just bounced off 72.15s. Strong rejection day here. There is earnings coming up, but this is a good spot in the chart here for this one. You have value up here at about 87. Right now we're at 74. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be just a one-day low and go or what, but that's not a bad spot here to keep an eye on that one. Let's see what else is here. ALK. ALK looking good today. No pullback below 57s. Just a strong go today. You know what this reminds me of? You might, if you were trying to get into this one or want to, this one reminds me of Apple right now. What Apple looked like at the beginning of the month. So here's Apple at the beginning of the month, right there. It's the same type of behavior. You know, we don't have any of this over here yet. We're right here, and it looks like it's about to explode, right? It just made its move, boom, like this. It pulls back and it's holding, and here we are. And that's exactly what this ALK kind of looks like here. If it stops thinking, you got your explosive move up, it pulls back, it's holding, and now you have this right here on that. I mean, does it get the next move up? That could be pretty strong. From this low of the month, which has been a strong low so far, your average monthly range would take you to 65 over the last 10 months. Value is 65.20. Your easy peasy target is 62.71. You know, that's a good look right there. It's not bad at all. Let's see what this looks like over here with the options here. 37 days out. This one also has earnings coming up here at the end of April. So again, I still like this one here. The 57.5 is a good one. You know, it's kind of in the money here today, and it can run away from that one. That's about a 330 entry right now. Tomorrow on a pullback entry, it could be quite a bit cheaper. There's also, you know, the out of the money idea or the out of the money spread. So I do also like the 60-65 call spread. That could be a good way to go. Again, if this thing were to rally to 65, you can have the spread there. And right now, that's $1.38 on that spread. $1.38 is very cheap on a $5 spread. It's out of the money right now. It would need quite a rally to do that, but it has done it before, right? You know, after this drop, after this drop, after this drop, it has been able to get it before. So two ways to go. 60-65 call spread. That's 37 days out. It's kind of cheap. If you go out to July, it'd be a little bit more expensive, but not much more. Let's see. It is $1.73. So it's still cheap. And again, if the market pulls back tomorrow to the midpoint and you can get a midpoint entry, you can probably get that $5 spread for $1.65 or so tomorrow. On a $5 spread with 100 days, oh, that's money right there. So that might actually be a great way to go, because then you can really hold it through the end of July. Well, July 19th. July 19th would be about right here. I mean, it could certainly get there by July 19th. So I like that approach better for tomorrow. Let me see one thing here. Tomorrow is the 11th. And the midpoint is 58.36. So let's... So we're looking at 261. So it looks like $1.58. So you can get it, you know, $1.60, $1.65 could be easy tomorrow on that. So that's what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to try that out. I'm going to try the 60-65 call spread, July options. I'll buy it. I'm going to put an order to buy it a little cheap here. I'll go 160. If I get filled tomorrow at 160, that's good. Oops, I accidentally canceled that. Let's double that. Okay, that's 100 days to expiration for $1.60 on a $5 spread with all upside value up above, market structure behind you on 57s. That looks really good. Even if it does pull back a little bit, you know, $1.60 is still a good entry here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Looks like I just got filled RH at $1.70. Again, I sold 345, bought it back for $1.70. I'm looking to buy back the last half of that for a nickel. Okay, still in VMZ. That's the last one that needs to go. ALK. This one probably won't get filled till tomorrow. No, I mean it definitely won't get filled till tomorrow if it gets filled. I like this one longer term. Again, anything can happen with earnings. Who knows? But it's at a good spot in the chart. So again, that's my cheap way of doing it. 60, 65 call out to the middle of July. I think that's plenty of time to make it to here. And you could take that off up there somewhere. Okay, got about 4 minutes until the market closes here. Looking at a couple of more here. This is Cade. Let's see, Cerner. The reverse. Deer looks like it's ready to pop as well. This could be a short-term spread. I like trading ranges like this where you got a clear range like this, and then you have the 160, 165 spread right there. I mean, that's an easy spread. Midpoint retest tomorrow and get in for a quick move. Earnings coming up on that one soon as well. Let's see what else we have here. Ooh, Intelsat. I remember watching that one explode last year. That is one of my favorite types of patterns right there. I don't know if I can trust this chart with it, but this one looks like it has the potential to explode above 19s. Keep that one on the list here. Let's see what else we have. That's kind of weak. Pterodine there. Let's see what else we have. Yum China. That looks good. There is earnings coming up on this one. This one tends to perform on earnings, at least over the last 3 rotations. So here, gaps up. Here, gaps up. Here.
The resistance level has been violated.
Small gap down and mostly sideways. This was a gap down. This one was a gap down. So who knows here? We have been on the way up. Big continuation. This is a perfect pullback. Ahead of earnings for a Chinese stock here. Who knows? But this looks really good though. I don't mind that one at all. That's a good one to add to the list as well. Let's see if Intuit's ready. See, Intuit reminds me of Verizon. It has everything it needs to get a great bounce soon, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. So getting out of some of these stale trades, taking profits on some of the great ones here, and putting in at least one order on a new one right now, trying to see what else is out there. Man, RH is now at 115.67. What a strong move. CPRT, this one was a long candidate for us here, exploded higher. This one was a long candidate for us back here. Has really good rejections that you can follow. The 65s here, it's rejecting pretty good. It's been a very vertical trend for this one, so I hesitate shorting anything. But we'll see. Let me see here. Oh, let me check NG here as well. That's one I wanted to get. It was still there. So I didn't, the order I put in yesterday was a day order, so it was canceled at the end of the day. So it would have filled this morning had I put it in there. But when I noticed it wasn't good till canceled and it wasn't filled this morning, it looked like this, which is a stop run day with 2 digestive days holding the midpoint and the breakout point. So if this is going to go higher, I'd love to see it break down below 2-day lows and reject. And if that starts to happen tomorrow, that could be an even better entry here. So I still like this one a lot. Again, the seasonality is right there. Everything is right there. Everything is where it needs to be. A higher low could be right on the money, so we'll do that. All right, everyone. Fantastic day here. A lot of great movers, some that aren't moving. Some new ones here to consider. We'll see how this continues to develop. Again, we have Thursday, Friday up ahead, and then that pretty much does it for the first 2 weeks of April and Q1, but not bad so far. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your night, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care, folks.